is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Dan.
Tom.
Sam.
EJ.
Yeah.
No. No. We'd put on the spot. You failed so bad you made Sam scream. Sam was like, ah!
I
just wanted to do something crazy.
Sam was like,
yeah.
That was your definition.
After I already scared you guys yesterday, I want you to be embarrassed for me today.
Yeah, that was awkward.
It was.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Someone clip that.
It's been so...
Don't clip that.
Okay. It's been so long
Melissa,
since
please
we've
don't be
done
mean to
this.
me. You're a cane.
I'm guessing that I did not reset his music. Because I have to reset his music every time I play it. I'm going to guess that the volume
It's either
level...
going to be really loud or really soft.
It's going to be really soft, I bet. Here, let's give it a go. Okay, it
It's
was.
not too bad.
Not bad.
It's just right.
Jock, nerd, jock, nerd.
Nerd Jock with EJ. How you doing, EJ?
What's going on, guys? I've been watching a lot of new media. I'm like loving watching new things.
Media? What are you, working radio? That's the way they refer to everything. They're like, we got to do something about this new media. It's really busting our fedoras.
What are you talking about?
I'm not on TikTok, but I've been watching like Sandman, Prey, the Woodstock documentary. Like I've been watching a lot of new things. Like usually I'll go back to my like regular things like Star Trek or Supernatural or something like that.
Here's
something
Dan,
that's like friendly and
Here's
nice.
a simple Dan fact. Every time somebody talks about the new hit show, Sandman, I think of Tom's joke about a person with a horrible beard looking like they ate the Sandman's beehole, and I cannot, and I repeat, I cannot watch the show because I'm that immature. I think of the joke, I laugh, and then I go, I can't watch it.
So what is Sandman?
Sandman's on Netflix, and it's 10 episodes. It's based off the Neil Gaiman comic.
Yeah.
And
the comic is so good,
It
dude.
is so good,
So
and
good.
visually, it's amazing, and the cast is crazy. Like, every person, like, you'll see a person that plays a character on the show,
The
they're
girl-
like, I know that guy.
The very beautiful girl that plays Death.
The black chick, yeah.
She'll be super. Is she already a superstar?
If
She will
not,
be a
she's-
superstar.
she's upcoming, yeah.
Yeah, that is
for sure.
that is a good actress.
Yeah, the lady that plays the devil.
Yeah, the whole thing looks.
and it's DC Comics, so it's connected to the DC universe. So like Constantine's in it, but they gender swapped it, and it's Joanna Constantine, and it's played by the chick that played Clara Oswald in Doctor Who. Like everyone in the show, other than like the Sandman, is someone you know, and Sandman being unknown for me is perfect.
Unknown for me too. I didn't know who any of these people were.
What's his name? God, I just lost it. The Corinthian. He is the guy with the eyes. Instead of eyes, he has teeth inside of his eyes, and it's creepy as hell. Yeah, he's played by the bad guy from Logan.
I've
He's
seen
also
those
the good
filters
guy
on
from,
Snapchat where they make your mouth your eyeballs. I've seen that.
Yeah. That's what this guy is like, and
Yeah.
he's a great actor in it. He also plays. He was in the Predator movie. He was the main character in the new The Predator, not the new one, Prey.
Yeah,
which
I
was
gotcha.
amazing too.
Yeah,
If you haven't watched that yet on Hulu, Prey is amazing.
Have not watched Prey.
Heard good things though.
Yeah,
Yes.
me too.
All right, so what else?
Like that, I watched the Woodstock '99 documentary.
I watched
I
that.
brought that up because I knew you would like to watch that. It is like you lived it. Like in '99, you were around what it was like that back then. I remember watching a little MTV and seeing like the chaos that was going on in Woodstock '99 and how the promoters like underplayed it. And
How
it's
many
like
people were there? Because like whenever
It's like 250,000.
yeah, because whenever I see footage, I'm just like, that's just not a lot
too
of
many
people.
No.
Like when I look at other concerts now, I'm like, oh my God, look at those. But like when I look at like Woodstock '99 and other shows, I could be completely wrong in how my mind is like sort of like sizing things up
I
comparatively.
don't know, if you watch like the Korn set or the
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit set, it's a
250,000, yeah.
lot of people.
There's a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but when you think that
Fred
every
Durst and Limp
weekend you get 100,000 at a soccer match in Europe.
Yeah,
like,
but it's in seats in a stadium.
Right.
It's different when it's all crunched up.
No, I get it.
Right.
I'm just
Stage.
saying is how many people are at a modern day like Astro World?
Astro World had a lot, but they were breaking down the walls to get in.
Right,
So
yeah.
I don't know what they were supposed. I think
they
they were
are-
supposed to cap at 10,000, but it got way more than that.
Yeah.
But that's 10,000. We're talking 250,000.
Yeah.
You know,
Like the biggest college stadium holds like 110,000 people, and that's
Look, I'm
in
not
seats.
saying it's accurate. I mean,
Yeah,
the chat
yeah.
room's busting me up too. I'm just saying when I hear that, it doesn't seem like a lot of people.
It said Astro World initially planned to limit attendees to 70,000 the first night, but then it was reduced to 50,000. Although it ended up being more than 200,000 people.
Right.
Wow. So, I saw the HBO Woodstock
one.
99 documentary, and Sam was telling me this one focuses more
On the crew that worked it.
On
It
the-
felt
yeah,
like,
yeah. on the crew that worked it, how the promoters, like, it all went wrong, the planning,
yeah.
and that's what I find interesting.
Oh yeah, it was like Fire Festival. Like it. Why do they let festivals happen again? Like you saw what happened in Fire Festival. This was Woodstock '99. It was kind of like the precursor to that going wrong and everything.
Well, aren't all festivals a little bit faily? Like, I mean, like,
Well, I mean,
aren't all of them like? Isn't the point to make an event that's like
Well, like
kind of?
Bonnaroo, Coachella, you don't really
South
hear
by
anything.
Southwest.
Yeah, you don't really hear anything bad happen to those.
Well, my point is
for the
that
most
they're
part.
not okay. Like, I'm not articulating this right. The festival to me, when I like in being part of them, small, big, whatever you want to call it, reggae festivals, dumb little outdoor festivals that we've done being in radio, it's always you're pulling off an event in an area with too many people, not a perfect area outside. Like it's like you're trying to do the impossible. So my point is that aren't all festivals like they're not going to be like a venue? It's not going to like Vegas. Like Vegas, they turn it and burn it. They know exactly what they're doing. People come in, people leave, and then on to the next one.
Yeah.
Festivals by design are always going to be like moving variables, right? Like the
They're
venue,
trying to
the
make
rain,
as much money
the
off
weather.
the people and not plan enough, so they underscore everything.
Yeah,
and
it's-
you're doing it in a location that's not permanently set up for this.
Correct,
So
yeah.
you have to build it all
Yes.
for that week or day or whatever,
Yeah, a
which
bunch of porta potties. And
lends itself to problems, you know. And also, I feel like the more the corporate you make it and the more greed involved lends itself to more catastrophe. For instance, you know, if the whole thing
Maximizing profits,
you know, you're like, where can we do this where we pay the least and we already have fences set up? Let's do it at an Air Force base. It's abandoned or whatever. the hell.
All asphalt.
All asphalt. You know,
One way.
Oh my God.
and then how?
Black asphalt too.
Oh.
And then like, how
and
do
then
we?
people get trench mouth? Oh God!
yeah,
I
how do we-
remember the one girl saying that. I'm like, oh.
And they took everybody's water when they came in,
Yeah.
and then charged them
Confiscated
$4 to
everything,
$8
yeah.
for water. So
Well,
it's
that's
like,
always. I
Back in
remember.
'99 when like it was $1 for water.
Well, I can remember
Right.
being at Lollapalooza here in town at the fairgrounds, and I remember Eddie Vedder on stage with Pearl Jam because it was the year that it was Red Hot Chili Peppers, Pearl Jam, Lush, Ice-T, and Body Count. Trying to think of the other bands that were there. Anyway, Eddie Vedder did a whole like diatribe about how you shouldn't buy the pizza at the stand because it was too expensive. He like went on this whole thing, and I remember as a younger man, I remember hearing this and being like, well, I gotta eat. What do you want me to buy?
Yeah,
and
where
I
else are we
remember
supposed to
thinking,
go?
like,
Yeah.
I remember my take was like, well, that's unreasonable, Eddie Vedder. I like pizza. Like, I was like,
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
go
yeah.
to your tent in the
like,
back. In
it was
the
the
green
exact
room.
opposite of what he was like. I wasn't. Apparently, I wasn't his target market.
And then also, like, I know in the HBO documentary, they focus more on, like, cultural changes. And then, like, you know, in 99, where you have the Limp Bizkit era and the like, bunch of people, like, more angry or
yeah,
whatever.
right.
Like, as opposed to Jimi Hendrix playing the Star Spangled Banner on,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
And
saying?
then
Like,
lighting his
and-
guitar on fire.
And then
right.
a bunch of hippies dancing around in the mud.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
cleaning
saying?
up after themselves, taking like a community food banks and stuff like that were
Yeah.
at the festival, so you didn't have to pay for food, and
Yeah.
you were fed by the community there.
You got a bunch of angry bros with half barbed wire
Yeah.
tattoos on their
Yeah.
arms. Break something tonight.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a different feel.
Give me something to break.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's hot and spend too much money, and then the whole like this love movement is gone, and then everybody's mad.
yeah.
Teas everywhere, but
Yeah.
people are
Well,
like,
the teas
assaulting
everywhere.
each
I'm
other.
okay. Don't grab them,
Assault,
but
like,
You
yeah.
know, it's
Well,
assault.
you can't check the ID
Yeah.
of all the T's either.
yeah, but
Yeah.
if they're pulling them out, I feel like that's on them. You know,
Yeah.
like you should know what you're pulling out.
Yeah, yeah.
What am I supposed to? What am I supposed to stab my eyes out?
Just don't look.
Whoa,
And
whoa.
definitely don't touch.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the touching and the assault.
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
the
yeah.
Touching's the bad part.
Just
Anyway,
say it.
what else we got for a
Oh,
nerd?
definitely.
I got a question about a real nerdy thing too. So
Okay.
this is about the nerdiest question I've ever
Oh,
had.
God,
please!
and you look-
I can't go compete against that. Let's
You
start
look
with the
troubled
nerd
even
question.
saddling it and bringing it to the table. You look concerned.
Well, because I know this is going to angry Daniel. Or make Daniel
Angry Daniel.
So
Why is it going to make me angry?
So Crystal told me that the boys the other day watched Spider-Man 1, the one with Tobey Maguire,
Okay.
right?
Oh, I love that
Because
one.
they just put them on Netflix, the three of them.
And so, but we've been watching all the Marvel series by timeline.
Yeah. So you're
Um,
watching the MCU Spider-Man instead of the original Sony Spider-Man.
Yes. So, okay,
Yeah.
well, this is where it
Asian,
goes.
Japanese, Sony Spider-Man.
No.
So we started
That's
with
the one
like
from the 70s, the TV show.
the old Captain America, World War II, and like gone
Yeah.
through like the actual
Yeah, you're following the timeline.
timeline.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we are now we just recently watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Okay.
Oh, I
So-
heard all the.
Ego, the Living Planet, and all that stuff.
I've only seen one, and it was great.
The
So
first
yeah.
Guardians is amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Guardians 2 is not bad.
and we've watched some out of order, like we watched the newest Spider-Man
Far From
multiverse,
Home, yeah.
and then we watched Doctor Strange 1 and 2 and stuff. But anyway, so my question to Crystal was like, oh well,
Oh, you blew it.
which the Spider-Man 1, is that in the timeline of the Marvel universe? And she's like, no, all the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies
not true.
are not in the
That's
actual.
not true. You nerds dug him up and put him in the last movie.
kind
But then
in
I
the
was like,
timeline,
but I was
yes.
like, he was. Well,
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, he's in multiverse.
Yes.
Yes.
So
You can't detach yourself from him now because you had to have him, you nerd.
So explain to me,
Okay,
nerd.
he's in the time.
God damn, he has a name.
Wait, you said the hardest question you've ever had
I
to
know,
ask.
it's not that hard. He's
and
in the
the
timeline because
simplest,
they
He
funniest
got
split the
mad that he
multiverse.
had to ask it, so he had to call him a nerd and bully him.
Yeah.
Oh, it made him feel better.
So, but he's in the timeline because he's in the multiverse, but he's not in the MCU timeline. He's a separate multiverse, like in
do
a
you
different
see-
universe. He's a different
Now
lawyer.
do you see why?
And the
I
same
get
thing
so
with
angry?
Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. He's in a different universe.
Right. Do you see? Now, do you see why I get so angry?
So which Spider-Man is in this universe that I'm watching the timeline?
We're talking about Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
so
Even
Tom
I know
Holland-
that is real Spider-Man.
He
is the MCU Spider-Man. Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's Sony 1 and Sony 2, which is Tobey Maguire and
Andrew
Garfield.
Garfield.
and they're technically not even
No.
in. You can't
No.
even place.
you
one of their
could if you're
movies.
going to do multiversal stuff. Like if you have Doctor Strange showing up and going between the universes, or America Chavez who punches between dimensions. You can bring them
Chavez.
in that way. America Chavez.
All right, next nerd.
Okay, the next thing.
Doesn't that
Next
make you
nerd.
angry? You have no opinion of that?
I just want because now I'm into the movies because
Well,
my
hold on a
sons are.
second. Okay, if you're following along, last week you said I'm not really into it. I just like it because my sons like it. Now you're saying I'm into
He's
it.
finding enjoyment
Now
with his
you're
sons.
saying you're
He's
into it.
slipping up. He's slipping
Just
up.
say it.
It's
Just
fine.
say it, man. It's fine.
No,
I will
I-
not. I will actually curb my hate for it because you like it so
If
much.
your
No,
I
kids
no.
don't,
enjoy
I
it,
don't
like,
get great pleasure out of having people email me and say, like, I don't understand why you don't like the things. I just tell them, I go, look, man, like
Not
what you
for me,
like. It's
yeah.
just not for me.
No, keep the hate in your heart.
Okay, all right, I will. You know what? I like that you're following me to hell. Now you're following me to hell. This is crazy.
What's next?
Oh, we're gonna talk about Andor, the new prequel Star Wars thing.
Andor.
Andor, yeah, it's
That's like in English? It's
Did
like
you guys
Andor.
see Rogue One, which was one the one where it was all the characters? Spoiler alert!
It's like
not really.
It's like an army movie.
Yes, it's basically.
It's a war movie.
For me, it's Empire Strikes Back
It's good.
with a cast you don't know
Yeah.
because
Have you seen
they-
Rogue One?
I've
the boys
seen
would
it.
like that.
the Rogue One is really good.
That's a
It's
good
my
movie.
second favorite Star Wars movie.
You told me to watch that, and I did watch that.
Yes.
I watched it here when we were building out this studio because that's how long it's been.
Mm-hmm.
And that Rogue One is great.
Yes, I like Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One is great.
It's my second favorite after Empire. It's Rogue
you
One.
got to show that to the boys. That's something you
Well,
probably
I
slept
think,
on.
Well, no, I think we watched it because we watched all the Star Wars except for the 70s ones.
Yeah. This one takes place after the 70s. No, it
The
takes place
70s.
after the prequels.
Oh, God.
I just got to
Get
make sure
your
I got it right.
timeline right.
Yeah, it takes
Why are you
after the
doing that?
prequels. I know.
You know, you can
Before
tell it's the 70s
episode 4.
ones.
Episode 4, yes.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
pre-episode 4, after
Because Darth
episode
Vader's
3.
in it, but he's become Darth Vader at this point. Yes.
Well, with Anakin.
Yeah, and then this Andor show is going to take place before
We
that.
saw Rogue One. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Rogue
where
One's good.
It's where you get burned in.
Yeah, where he goes down. No, that's episode 3 where he gets burned. Episode 4, he's really Darth Vader at this point.
Okay,
Rogue One
yeah.
takes place between those two, and it's the one where he goes down the hallway and he's killing all the rebels. It's a famous scene. Like Rogue One, that movie, because of that scene, it's awesome because you actually see Darth Vader just slaughtering rebels like crazy.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like the best part of the movie.
It's one of the best parts of the
kids.
movie. Like you're cheering for
The
Darth Vader, but
Padawan.
he's just annihilating people.
All right.
And this Andor show is gonna. the main character from Rogue One. This is his prequel. This is his story up to that point.
Okay. And when does this come out?
It's going to be on Disney Plus. I think it's going to be in the end of August or beginning
September
of September.
21st.
Yeah.
And it's in another series of episodes, like 10.
It'll be like Obi-Wan again. This
Okay.
is the next one in their series of stuff.
I mean, my sons
destroyed
obviously
in the
they
pet,
like
never mind.
Mandalorian the best, but
I do too.
Oh, Mandalorian is
As a
definitely the best one.
non-Star Wars guy, I'm really glad
Because
I gave Mandalorian
we
a
don't
chance.
know the like Grogu's story and Din Djarin's story. I don't like prequels because he's not going to die. Like Andor's not going to die because he's in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I that's the only problem with prequels.
See, I
always.
like
Yeah,
that.
but isn't it supposed to give you just like more context
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
character?
the more context. But
I
the thing
actually,
is,
as an
anytime he's in his danger.
Well, hold on a second. As an anxiety man, I like knowing that my main character that I'm going to grow attached to isn't going to die throughout the entire series.
See, I'm the exact opposite.
So I like it.
want high stakes when it comes to the characters.
Well, why
Like,
do you want him to die, though?
Because every story, if you wait long enough, they're going to die.
Oh, my God.
EJ likes
depressing.
steaks. That's all I
I do like stakes.
High stakes. Big stakes.
So Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, and then Boba Fett, as far as my sons.
It's Boba Fett.
But yeah, they except for the end, the last like 3 episodes of Boba Fett, they back into it.
The last episode of Boba Fett, they get him skinny again, and then they get it, and it's like the Swan. They give him a full makeover.
They
and
put
he
in the
finds-
basket tanks.
He
Yeah.
finds true love.
Any other nerd stories?
I was just going to talk about what. No, I can't do it because you told me already.
What?
So never mind. I was going to talk about Adam Murray and what my guess was that he's going to be in.
Well,
but
don't.
I can't.
I told you not to.
See, I
Don't
didn't
even
do it.
bring
I
it
didn't
up.
do it. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
that was the only one I had left. Okay, we have to go to the news story, the video I sent you. And we're going to Jock. I had to be careful about this because the athlete in this, the name of the competition is the U20, which took place in Colombia. And the U20 means under 20. So I had to double check this guy's age before we talk about the story. He's 18 years old, so it's okay.
All right.
What the hell is about to go on?
I've seen this on social
Have you
media.
seen- oh, yeah, it's
my,
definitely on social
my
media.
wife showed this
Have
to
you
me.
seen the actual video?
No.
Where it's not blurred?
No, but I didn't. I mean, like, my wife had it, and it was so... Here, I mean...
I have not
All right.
seen this.
Okay.
So this is
I pulled this video because it had funny music and there's no
Well,
commentary.
let's describe. This is a track.
They're running. They're in the
Track and field.
decathlon. They're running the 400 meters, and this is one of the competitions. And this guy didn't wear underwear under his shorts.
Well, I don't think you normally do.
You do usually wear like a jock strap or something like that to basically keep it all together.
it just keeps
so it doesn't
swapping out.
fall out. Because
Or
remember
some
it happened
compression shorts.
or some compression shorts. Yeah. Because remember this happened in the combine in 2016 to that defensive lineman from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Where,
This cost him the race. He was in the lead for most of the race until it fell out.
And so you would think that these guys train all the time in these shorts, the same shorts that they race in, and you would think that if this happened here, that it would happen during training, and then you would.
I think he just wants to cut down in his gear, and he's like, "This is the race time. With less stuff on, I'll be a little bit lighter. I can run a little bit faster." And I think that's what's going through his head. He's an 18-year-old kid. He doesn't know probably.
With 6-ounce compression shorts, but you have to think to yourself, like, hey, because I'm sure in one point of his running career,
I mean, I can know
How
when
did that happen?
like, if I put on boxers, I know my level of support.
Yeah.
And if I put on briefs, I also know my level of support.
Well, even so, like
Just run.
It's
I would
going
just
to be
ran.
harder to run with it flopping around,
Yeah,
right?
well, you're
you
all
need a-
there. My point is, you're all there
It's
to
like
run.
if I'm running, I'm going to put a sports bra on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get it, but you're also there to run. So if you're running and your tees fly out, don't grab them. Don't tuck them back in.
Just
It
keep
costs
going.
him the
Just
race.
keep
Yeah,
running
just keep going.
because
he tried to
we're-
fix it a bunch of times,
It's
and that's
not
cost him the
sexual
race.
at all. It's not. Nobody's lusting after it. It's like you're there to run. Just run,
but
man.
you're embarrassed.
No, you're not. Because it's big enough to fall out.
Yeah.
You're embarrassed. No, you're not.
Yeah, I
this is
mean-
a non-story.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's
It's a story.
everybody's
No.
laughing at him, and then
Well, why? Because his D was big enough to fall out. Congratulations, you're better than
Was
most
it at the
people.
D or the B's?
It was.
And-
It was the D.
It was the D?
It
Yeah.
was the D.
But you also say it had to do with size, but those runner shorts are, I mean...
Well, you got to have something for it to dangle, right?
Yeah.
If you're running and it's like literally like
An
a
elevator
nipple,
button,
if it's
yeah.
a nipple,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, you heat up, and I feel like this... It was bizarre that he didn't... Because...
I mean, only a man that has the same problem would know, and it sounds like you know your way around this, so maybe I need to take your word for it.
No, but I'm just saying that all these runners wear the super short big leg hole
Yeah.
running shorts.
Yeah,
You know
there's
what I'm
no
saying?
like restriction.
Yeah,
on your legs.
I have a
Yeah.
couple pair of running shorts that Andrea bought me for just like doing cross training or whatever, and they have underwear in there, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah. It's like a
tiny.
baby.
They're tiny. No, they're like little boy shorts, right? So they're like this high. They're like thigh height, like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then the regular short comes down to like right above my knee. So
Yeah,
it's
it's-
got enough to hold anything you have in there.
Well, it's got a compression short, or like in bathing suits, the netting,
The
right?
netting,
like
yeah.
in my chubby shorts, especially like the 4-inchers, if the netting wasn't there, like it would have especially if I spread my legs open, like
Hey, now.
it,
You
no,
don't
but I'm saying,
have
like,
to do
looking
that.
right at
My
you. Come
God.
on, stop that.
No,
Why
but-
are you wearing lingerie?
so then
Weird.
why didn't it cross his
a power
mind that
move,
this
isn't
would be a
it?
problem
Is
while
that
running away?
Victoria's Secret second skin satin?
What else we got, EJ?
Definitely had to talk about. Oh, well, we got to talk about Aaron Rodgers and
Oh,
how
yeah.
his ayahuasca that he
Oh
took.
yeah, because he's a white guy. He can do drugs now
Yeah.
and still play in the league.
And it doesn't
Yeah.
violate the drug policy.
Yeah, but every
of the
other black
NFL.
guy smoking weed isn't
yeah.
allowed to smoke weed, but he can go on an Indian trip to Mars and it's fine. That's
Right?
fair.
It's like I won the MVP. I
The
did drugs.
NFL is trash.
It
It's
doesn't make any sense.
They
The
don't
rules-
make any sense.
No.
They're like, oh, this person can sexually assault 50 people, 6 games. You can gamble not knowing that you know how to gamble. You're out for the season.
Yep.
You get this. You can do ayahuasca. It's totally fine. You have weed, out for the season. I'm sorry. You're done.
Oh, they're getting Watson for one of the six games.
Yeah,
they
they're
already
appealing
appealed.
it. Yeah.
I'm back to. I'm gonna win my bet. He ain't playing this year. He even turned down 12 games, which tells me he don't even want to play this year. Like I think this is a whole like they wrote in his contract. I'm back to my original bet. I'm gonna win that. He ain't playing. But
I hope you do.
But Rodgers and the psychedelic thing is. Now, I wonder how the drug policy, I'm sure this is easy to find, but is written in the NFL.
Oh, it's written for sure. They make specific like this drug can be used. This drug can be used.
And
they go-
ayahuasca is not
Nah,
listed.
it's not on the list. Probably.
Yeah, it was kind of like us and podcasts when it came to our contract
Yeah.
with iHeart. They were like, damn it, it's not in there.
So he claimed that he did this. Like obviously we've talked about ayahuasca a lot,
Yeah.
and people using ayahuasca to almost as a form of therapy to like rewire their thought
I've
process.
heard it
or the way
explained
they're
as like
crazy.
cleaning your windshield is the term that a lot of people use, where it's like when you come out of it, it's almost like a fresh start. Like you're anxiety free.
Yeah, Ari Shafir talked about it
Yeah.
here, didn't he?
Yeah.
And so
wasn't he trying to get you guys to do it with him?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said next time
I'm
he's
down.
in town, he said he'll do it with us. We'll
Yeah,
just go
don't
over to
let
the
me go
old
with you guys.
ayahuasca church.
I'm not doing that. There's
Why
no
not?
way.
What do you want to be? You don't want to be reset?
No.
Imagine if you could have emotions.
Yeah, but
I hope I come out and I'm a creative musical genius, like the Black Eyed Peas Will I Am.
here's the
You don't
problem,
be
though.
Tyler the Creator.
I want the
I'm
benefit.
more of a Will I Am guy.
Okay.
I want the benefit of being reset, and I totally get it, and I believe in it. It's like I believe that there is benefit to that. I don't want to go through the experience.
Can't get the reward without
You don't want to be hanging out with
suffering.
a
Everybody there
mafia
does a
hitman
little
and
bit.
scaring you a little bit before
Even
you
the
take
guy
it.
does a
No,
little bit. Even the guy does a little bit. That way nobody's there feeling weird. That's what I heard.
Sometimes when I eat too many edibles, I feel my emotions coming up.
Yeah,
from
but
that.
you need
know
that.
you're
You
taking
need
too
that.
many.
No,
Don't
no,
take
You
too
need
many.
that. Oh my God! What if you're like, Daddy?
Ayahuasca is like 100 times,
Yeah.
you know, 1,000 times an
Yeah.
edible, whatever it is, and I'm afraid of
No,
what is going to bubble up, and I don't want to go through that.
All right, don't do it. But hey,
I-
do one
just-
thing with me. Let's do salvia. Come on.
That's
Just one
garbage.
little toot. One little 30-second toot. Let's go to
It's
Mars.
not on your drug ban list. You're
yeah,
fine.
yeah, we're fine. It don't microdose it.
You're
Now,
the owner of the company. Who cares?
everybody blows these stories out of proportion. Like he just told, like him doing ayahuasca on some podcast, and
Yeah.
the media goes crazy about it.
Of
So
course.
the people that are mad about it are mad because he admitted to doing a drug and he's not getting any
Yeah, he's
consequence.
not in trouble, yeah.
And then the NFL's, I guess, saying that ayahuasca is not under our banned substance list.
Yeah. It's like saying I took creatine. It's not on your band's list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, okay, follow me here. You could make because DeAndre Hopkins got 6 game suspension for having a trace amount of some PED in
yeah.
his blood.
Yep.
So that could be, some sort of testosterone.
He's taking some supplement that
some-
he didn't know all the stuff that was ingredients in
Horny
it.
You know,
goat weed.
But it was a trace of it. Is like so it's banned substance because it's a PED and they want a level playing field. Could you argue that ayahuasca is helping you mentally.
He did win the MVP that year.
And it is technically a performance-enhancing drug mentally,
Well,
which
they already talked about that with Ritalin. You have to have a prescription for it to take it. If you take it without it, it's on the banned list.
like Adderall.
Yeah, it's Adderall. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, because that's a controlled substance.
Yeah.
Well, you can get a prescription easy. I'm thinking if you're
Yeah,
any
I mean,
NFL
anyone
player,
can
That's
get
what I'm
it.
saying, yeah.
I mean,
Any
I thought
NFL
those
player
guys.
could.
I thought once you're in the league, you get a prescription pad. You write whatever you want.
yeah. I mean,
My
yeah,
knees hurt. Here you
It's
go.
like going to the Monsters.
it's like getting a doctor, like getting a doctor's note for school. Like you could find a doctor
Oh,
to give
yeah.
you a note. That's
Even
not-
I can
that's
find a
like-
doctor to
it's
give me a note. I'm just a podcaster.
Like, what do you need? Testosterone, Adderall.
I
You-
want the testosterone.
You can go to a doctor and then go to 3 or 4. One of them is going to give it to you. The testosterone, you could just go to a testosterone doctor. It's
The
like a
chat
weed
room-
doctor.
The chat room and myself, I think you have an argument here. I agree with you.
Now, by the way, I don't care, and
Neither do I. But
I also think it's ridiculous that. Do they even test for marijuana anymore? I think a lot of.
I think they do.
I think they do.
I think they still do.
I don't
yeah.
know. I couldn't be sure on that, but I think they do because they still
Yeah.
bring it up as people's.
It's not federally
Right.
Yeah,
And people
because
are
it's not-
still
yeah.
people are still serving suspensions or
Yeah.
have had.
But Josh Gordon, he's
Yeah.
out for like a year and a half because he was on weed.
Yeah, but
He was on the weed.
I mean, that's insane to me.
it feels-
that is insane.
Yeah.
it feels like the NFL is no longer testing for weed because they usually change their ways pretty quick. I mean, the
Yeah.
NFL to give them is
Well, they're
as
not.
greedy.
They
as-
might, but they're not talking about it.
Yeah.
And
they
they
kind of
should.
keep it hidden, all some of that stuff.
Because now in so many states it is legal, it's if you're in Denver, marijuana is legal.
Yeah, or California.
And so if you're on the Denver Broncos, and I just can't imagine they're still testing players actively for THC and suspending them. For
I think
it.
what it is they don't want players going to states that it's not legal and having it on them and getting arrested, and it makes the league look bad.
Of course,
I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the problem. What they're worried about.
They're
You know
probably
what
still.
sucks is that people are always saying, "Well, the league they don't want to look bad. They are bad.
Yeah, they always
Yeah.
look bad.
They
always
should look
yeah.
bad. They're bad."
Well, they're greedy, and
Yeah,
and
anything that hurts their
bad
bottom line, that's what they're afraid
Well, but
of.
then
yeah,
you-
bad is subjective.
Then you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah,
fix
so-
things, though, right? Then you have to gut it a little bit more than just what they've done.
If you just take them for like any other company, they only care about the bottom line and they're all about the money.
Oh, yeah.
Then that's how you have to look at them because that's the truth.
Yeah.
And they're doing whatever they can to make the most amount of money.
Yeah.
And then
It's only going
So-
to change if it hurts the bottom line.
According to Insider, NFL players were allowed as of last offseason, 2021 offseason, they were allowed for the window of the offseason to smoke marijuana.
So during the season, they can't.
They will not drug test for THC in players from April 20th to August 9th.
okay.
Well, you got to give
See,
them.
I
You
fe-
got
I
to give them
felt
a
like
little.
they-
Y'all can
leeway.
smoke weed on the summer.
and
No,
then
but
you
you
gotta
gotta
give
give
them- summer.
You got to give them like a grace period, like 10 days after, so they can get it out.
They
of
will
their
be
system.
tested
like
for
a month?
THC once training camps open in August.
I'm not coming to training camp. I'll just smoke all through training camp.
So what else you got?
Okay.
EJ?
The other thing I had. We got to talk about the Dolphins tampering and how they lost their picks, and
So-
talk about Tom Brady and
Pretty brutal.
And, saying they tanked the games on purpose because
Well-
of the Brian Flores thing. Because those are the two things that caused them to lose the picks.
The tanking, I heard it was more the tampering. The tanking, they couldn't find a proof. Like obviously it wasn't written anywhere. It was hearsay.
it was them talking and
and-
not having anything written down.
But they found proof of the tampering, I think, with emails and correspondence between the Miami organization and Tom Brady, which is a no-no.
that.
Yeah.
Although I'm mad at the Dolphins because everybody does this, and Stephen
Yeah.
Ross got caught doing
Yeah.
it. It was how dumb are you? How does everybody else get away with? Like all the other owners are doing this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's a known thing, and you get caught like an idiot because I remember when the story came out, and I was like,
Well, you told me, and I was like, no way.
it was hard to believe, and it seemed like, well, how did it, this would have to be a bigger story. It was like, this was a long time ago. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, Tom Brady was reportedly going to go to the Miami Dolphins with Sean Payton, and this was going to happen, but the Brian Flores lawsuit stopped it and scared everybody off. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's internet hearsay BS. Because then I was like, how did it get out?
Yeah.
Like, how is some sort of, and it wasn't even like ESPN reporting this. It was just like, it was like Barstool Sports or something.
Yeah.
And then, of course, ESPN got a hold of his stuff, but it was early
I
out.
remember that.
And then it turns out to
Well,
be
you-
true.
you also
and then I'm like,
dismissed
how
it. Yeah, I
dumb are
remember
you?
that. Yeah.
You're a billionaire. Like, you can't keep this under wraps. And
Yeah,
like, you
Robert
can't-
Kraft got away with the thing he got away with.
Well, he didn't get
In
away
the
with
same
it.
area.
I mean, he's all right. He's
No,
fine.
he
Leave
got
him
caught
alone.
too. I'm
He
mad
got
at him.
caught, but he didn't get any trouble.
He didn't get in trouble, but the fact that he got caught is more embarrassing. The trouble is how embarrassed the guy is for everybody knowing that.
You know the best part about being embarrassing to your family is that you will forget about it.
Yeah.
You will eventually forget about it.
No, every
Every football game, somebody yells at you like, "Hey,
dude, every
Oh, yeah.
until
on a
Robert,
long time," you know.
yeah,
you know,
no,
like-
that's right. Until Robert Kraft dies, he will be made fun of.
yeah, but he
Till
already
death.
was. He already was.
But not to this extent. I mean,
No, I
know. So
Yeah.
yes,
It's like Zach
I
Wilson.
mean, when he's sitting at Del
good.
Frisco's having his $300 steak dinner, I don't know if he cares.
yeah.
I don't know if he cares.
I don't. These billionaires' legacy. That's all they have because they have no. They're already old. They know they're only going to live. A certain amount
Yeah.
of more time. So it's like
I'd love to sit down with Robert Kraft and say, if you could, because you're not going to get an honest answer out of him, but if you could, like if you were like death with a sickle in your hand or God or something, if there was
You're the
one.
Sandman. You could
Yeah,
talk to him in
or
his dream.
Sandman. Yeah, perfect. On brand.
On
DJ.
brand, yeah.
So I go in his dream and I'm like, does this really bother you? I'd be interested to see what he would say.
I think it does because it's like his reputation he can't buy back. Like it's already out.
It's an unfixable thing.
yeah, it's impossible.
Money cannot fix it.
Oh,
Money
there's
get-
always going to be asterisks next to his
It's
name.
one
yeah.
of the only
Yeah.
things that money
like
cannot
Barry
fix.
Bonds
Bill-
and his home runs.
It
Yeah.
seems
Yeah.
like billionaires are disturbed with things that money can't fix. Like
I could see that. Yeah.
Like because there's a reason why all these billionaires are obsessed with living longer and like
Or
trying
going to space.
They're spending
That's
it.
another
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
they're obsessed with like.
but you could buy that. They bought going to space.
Yeah.
They could purchase that. They can't purchase a longer life. They can't purchase more time. They can't purchase a time machine to reverse their reputation.
They're
Well, they
working
want to
on
live
it.
longer than they really live because they want to be remembered. That's one of the things you want to go down in the history books.
But now you're going to be remembered as the guy that got
Rub and tug.
Oh.
A little bit, even if like your overall accomplishments, supersede
He's
that.
the president
But-
of the Patriots for all these years that he won championships, but no, the Rub and Tug.
Yeah, like Brady will, unless he has something later on in his life, like he'll go down as this hero, godlike figure
Unless
that was
Brady
the
runs
best
for
of
president
it.
and wins the presidency, maybe.
He'll go down as the best football player of all time.
But also with very small blemishes on his career, like Deflategate, like that's his biggest
no, nobody.
controversy
Yeah.
was that he let the air out of a football a little bit so he could throw it. But like that's the worst thing he's
And
done.
everybody
Better grip,
tried
yeah.
so hard to make that matter, myself included. Everybody, we were all like,
He's
"Oh,
a
this
cheater.
Yeah,
Even if he is.
Didn't
He's
even
not
matter.
raping women. He's, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, what
that's
are we
true.
talking
He's
about?
bending
that
the
is-
rules as much as he
But
can.
I mean, like,
we know
how,
where his white suit
how
is.
bad is your
He's
sport,
Lance
though?
Armstrong
But
in
how
the
bad is your sport, though?
Tour
If
de
you're
France.
like, this cheater doesn't rape women, so we like it. It's like,
Yeah,
what are we
exactly.
doing?
You
What are we
lowered-
doing here?
Your morality bar is really low at that point.
There is no morality.
It's the NFL. We've already discussed it's
That's
really
why,
bad.
That's why I was telling Andrea last night. She was like, "Are you excited about football?" And I was like, "Yeah, I really am. I don't have a team this year because the Falcons are going to be terrible. We do have a lot of really good young players. They'll be fun to watch." I said, I'm probably going to root for the Bills because did you see that photo of the stadium packed for just training?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sellout. I mean,
They show
It's-
the
Their
one.
fans are
they're-
hyped up.
The
they're
saddest
awesome,
one
though.
is the
It's-
Commanders, though. Have you seen that one
Yeah, I
where there's
don't
like
wanna-
3 people
Yeah,
there?
it's bad.
Oh.
But the Bills, it's a sellout for training. The whole thing is packed. They're yelling, Bills Mafia. They're awesome. So I might root for them
Yeah.
just for fun.
I think the Rams and the Bills probably
But
this year.
I really, and this isn't me, but like all the politics involving the NFL this year, I wish I hadn't heard a lot of it because it is kind of killing it a little bit for me. I'm like, yuck.
It's the off season. They
kinda
got
yuck.
you got to talk about something.
But
That's
it's
the
yuck.
problem.
It's all bad stuff. It's not like they're making good decisions.
Right.
It's not like they're employing good people.
nah.
Well, the ultimate comedy is them saying, "Okay, we were not going to do it anymore. We won't make the decisions." Oh, Goodell, he's out of it. We're going to hire this third party, and then they're like, "No, you're too little, you idiot!" Because
That is my favorite, yeah.
And then now,
the judge, and they're like, "We're going to appeal your decision
now
after the fact."
this could be an orchestrated publicity stunt because
yeah.
I don't put it again. this ain't that serious. This is all entertainment.
This ain't that serious.
This is like,
It ain't that serious, boo.
like there is no like this is just an entertainment company that's trying to sell advertising. Like
Yeah.
that's all that is. Like they make their money off advertising, and they're no different than iHeart.
TV contracts,
you know,
all that
they're,
stuff, yeah.
they're just insanely big, and so like everybody's like, oh well, you got. I mean, obviously the you follow the law, but what they're trying to do is manipulate the media and the way their public perception and stuff like at all times to make the most amount of money, like
Yeah.
any other corporation. So I wouldn't put it past them that they did this on purpose so they could look like they're coming down harsher, just like my original thing. Like,
Oh, it seems like a work to me.
and even that,
Oh, yeah, for
even
sure.
telling the judge who's she employed by. She's employed by the
No,
NFL.
that's
Like,
my point. It's like when you
I don't
met
know
the
how,
commissioner of the Arena Football League and the guy was an actor. You know, it's like
Although the Players Association is real, and I'm sure they have safeguards in place, or that they just would put this judge as a plant in there. Like I'm sure the Players Association is like keeping track of who they're hiring and making sure it's a complete third party and they're not controlled by the NFL. You know, so there's so much money involved, and there's so many people that are making money. Like it's not, some rinky-dink arena football league, you know? Like, this is bigger than
But
that.
we've already discussed that. Like, big organizations still screw up a lot.
No, I 100%.
That's the problem, yeah.
Let's talk real quick about Tampa
Okay.
Bay, since we're talking about Brady and all that.
Okay.
Because I want to talk football for a second, because the narrative, I want to talk
With
narrative.
Julio Jones and going there and
Because,
Mike Evans and
they-
Godwin. They have a great receiving core this year.
yeah, they have really good receivers.
I hate to say
Although
that.
I wouldn't throw Julio in there as being one of their best
I
receivers.
think he'll still pull some safeties away.
Yeah, he'll be all right, but he's certainly
Dude, Russell
I mean,
Gage, that young, speedy receiver that used to play in Atlanta.
Yeah,
like,
Russell's a good player.
Scotty Miller, old,
Yeah.
Welker like Scotty Miller
It's
still
just
there.
a possession receiver. That's what I think
they-
Julio Jones is going to become like. He's not going to be a deep threat. He's going to be a possession receiver that's going to cross the middle.
They brought in Kyle Rudolph
Yeah,
to
they got
kind of
another
take
tight
over,
end instead of Gronk.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Rudolph is a gigantic. He's just as big as Gronk is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, maybe not as good statistically, but I mean, it is close. Anyway, here's what I want to talk about. So, like, obviously, their team is stacked. They got Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Brady doesn't look like he's, on the
loss of step
decline.
or
You
anything.
know
He's
what I'm saying? And so they're slated to be a Super Bowl contender, right? Based on their odds. Now, I want to talk about their center. Ryan Jensen got injured, right? And he's
Yeah.
going to be out for the year.
He's a character
That's
too.
a
He was an
big-
all-pro,
I believe so.
I think
yeah.
he made the Pro Bowl. I
Yeah.
think that was
According to
one
my
of the-
Madden game, I believe so. Yeah.
So, and I know, here's the thing. I'm no analyst. I have no idea about the offensive line and how important the center
Super
is.
important.
Yeah, but I know it is up there.
Unbelievably important, especially the center, because he's the one who calls out the protections to help save Tom Brady at the same time that he's calling out the certain things.
Yeah, not as important as the guard, right? Especially your
No,
left
the
guard.
centers are more important.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Center and your left tackle are the most important offensive linemen. Everyone else you can kind of shuffle the border a little bit, but center and your left tackle are your most important.
So what I'm confused about, and because I don't know, is now their backup center. I don't even know the person's name. I'm sure they have one, right? Obviously.
Of course.
And so what's the difference in level of play and ability between Ryan Jensen and their backup center?
Oh God, I didn't know. I thought he was going to be able to come back. No, he's done. Then Jensen's knee
he's
injury.
out for the year,
He's
yeah.
out for the year.
Yeah.
I thought they're
It's
going to be able to
No,
limp him
it's really
along.
bad,
Oh
yeah.
man, that sucks because he just signed a new contract.
So what's confusing to me, and I'm just talking this out because
Yeah,
I follow
he's
this
a Pro
lot.
Bowler for sure.
Yeah.
I follow this a lot, and like every once in a while, like there'll be offensive line injuries, and people are making a big deal about it before a game. Obviously, we saw it in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, right? And Mahomes is getting tackled, like he literally running for his life the whole game. So you see it happening, you're like, oh, the offensive line does matter a huge amount to this particular game.
Yeah, it's one of the things it's the hidden part of football is the offensive line.
But I've also heard that it's more about multiple injuries at one time as compared to one, because they have one injury and then they shift some things around. This is where they become super complicated. It's like, all right, because Ryan Jensen is injured, they're bringing his backup, and then we're shifting some guys around.
Is that to pick up
Sometimes
the
they'll
slack?
move like the right guard to center because he's used to the whole offense. So like they trust him with the play calling more, and they'll put their backup center at right guard, and then he has to learn the whole thing, and it's a learning curve a lot of the time.
So then now I guess we won't know until we see it.
Yeah,
But
well,
how
that's
much?
what the preseason games are for.
Because obviously we know Brady can't run out of his own. He's not getting
It's
out
not
of the
gonna Patrick
pocket.
Mahomes
right?
back there, yeah.
But he can get rid of the ball as fast as any QB
Yeah,
in
you're
the
gonna
league.
throw
right?
hot routes. He's gonna
know.
make the play calls to protect himself at the same time. He's like, okay, they're probably blitzing 2 guys. I don't have enough protection.
Yeah.
My receiver needs to cut off his route, and I'm going to throw
Sam
it to him fast.
says in the chat room that the backup center is Robert Hainsey.
Yeah. Well, see, we don't all know enough about the specifics of offensive line and then like a backup center.
If you're a huge fan, you might know the offensive line, but you're not knowing the backups unless you're like super fan.
And I'm sure people could research that, but I think this is going to have a bigger deal than all this talk about Julio Jones coming in and like how many weapons they have. I think the offensive line is more important, and if Brady doesn't have the time to
Yeah,
throw,
if he's not protected,
and
it doesn't matter who you could have.
he can't run away from anybody.
no.
So it's like that is going to seemingly to me will make a difference in their success, and I don't know.
Possibly, yeah. And
Yeah,
plus,
totally
is
possible.
Leonard Fournette underweight now? Is he?
That's all BS story.
I
Yeah.
love that story.
Like, yeah, what was
Where
that story?
They talk about Leonard Fournette was overweight. Like he came to camp overweight.
Yeah, but
And,
fine.
but he'll lose the weight. It's
Yeah.
usually one of those things. It's like, he lived his life during the off season.
Yeah.
and he's so big, and I listen. He's not a wide receiver,
and he's a rough and tumble runner back anyways.
Yeah.
He's not like
All these-
Barry Sanders making you miss all the time.
all these running backs and these linemen. They're so big that's just a lot of his water weight and the weight they cut in the first week of training camp. And he just weighed
the
again
2
back.
days. I remember losing so much weight, like coming back during 2 days. When you come back from the summer,
brutal.
you're like running 110s and you have to do them for time. And oh God, I hated that.
I guess he's claiming that it was not true.
That he wasn't fat.
Yeah, well, he tweeted out, which has since been deleted. He says, "No, I weighed 245. Y'all say anything," and then he deleted it.
It's just a BS story.
It's
they
usually
just
those
needed
things.
something
It's
to
like that
talk
one
about.
player that got burned in practice, and then he deleted his Twitter account
The
for the Cowboys. I can't remember what his name.
There's so much people are so starved for this content.
Yeah.
And back to why the NFL
Anything's
makes so
a
much
story.
money.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
because believe me, I follow this as a hobby, and there are no stories out. Basically. After the draft, there's nothing much
It
going
goes
on,
dry.
especially in
Yeah.
July. In July, there's really nothing. Now we're ramping back
getting
up.
close to the Hall of Fame game. Yeah.
Yeah, and which happened already, and then there's people are just talking football right now. Like
There were people watching it though, man. We were at a sports bar and
Preseason game.
Yeah, people were all
when
in
you
there. Ready
haven't
to
had
go.
anything for a while. It's
Yeah.
like that first drop of alcohol.
By the way, you can make a lot of money betting preseason because it's easier to predict a lot of if you do your research, where you can know how long they're going to play their starters for and who their backups are.
Easier
and,
to predict.
well, yes, and they just set the limits real low. For the novice gambler out there, I would really suggest people just do a little bit of research because you can win. I won a bunch of money betting on
What's
the
a
draft.
bunch of money?
At like
He's going to say
100,
units. It's not going to actually give us the amounts.
$150, I think. I mean,
$150 bucks is a lot of money.
I mean,
That changed me for a while.
I'm not betting big, but it's like it was easy once I knew the end. It was
still a
easier than I
child.
thought.
Anytime you say like a unit of money, or if you say $150, I still think I could get a couple of video games and an action figure.
Right?
Like that's how
Yeah.
much of a baby I am.
All right, DJ, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. My con is it's March 18th. I had to think about it for a second because I know
my
it's
God, it's canceled.
only because we talked about
2023?
Yeah, because they pushed it back because they wanted to make sure it is right. They didn't want a fire festival on their hands.
Yeah, I understand. So 2023.
Yeah,
March
It's-
18th.
Yeah,
March
March
18th.
18th.
I remember it because it was the
my
Ides of March 3 days plus 3 days. It's your anniversary too for Tom and Dan. Was the Ides of March?
Oh yeah.
April, isn't it April?
17th.
Yeah. it's
Are you?
April.
Oh, you're talking about the
original
first show. Oh, okay,
yeah.
You keep track of those things.
Yeah, we
I'm
don't.
weird, okay?
Not good at that. I couldn't tell you how long I've been doing this.
Only because it corresponds to Shakespeare.
I couldn't tell you my first day on Real Radio or anything. I don't know nothing. I should know that stuff.
We're coming on 10 years of BDM, which is nuts to me
shut her
for
down.
whatever reason.
Just shut it down.
Which
You guys
means,
are definitely funnier back then.
Oh yeah.
we took more risks.
I only was messing with you. I only
We
because it
took
was
more
funny.
risks.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I was
definitely
the-
did take more risks.
Yeah.
That was what I've been listening to.
Yeah,
from
we
back
took
Well, I
in the
take
day.
risks now.
No,
I'll take all
Not
the risks.
compared to back then.
Like this year, I'm telling you, this year I'm gonna live like I'm dying.
Oh, believe me, Samantha's probably seen
Isn't
the list
that
I handed
Sam
already.
Antha. Who is Sam
Samantha.
Antha?
But
My
you
alter
could-
ego.
But you could argue that back then it wasn't that risky because
No.
you could say those
'Cause
things
we-
back
yeah.
then.
Yeah, you had
exactly.
nothing to risk.
Yeah, there was nothing to risk. We were sucking up the corporate dime.
But also, but you're saying it's riskier now because
It
you're
is.
10 years ago, times were different.
Oh,
you
yeah.
could say things.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I couldn't listen to it with my kids around, so I definitely had to turn
no. Lots of ding
the headphones
dongs.
on.
Lots of ding dongs.
lots of R words.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's jump into your voicemail messages. I like to hear what you guys have to say. Will Smith, this will probably be the last thing
Oh God.
we say about it. But, I think people were kind of shocked, and I think we may have nailed it. And namely, I think Tom may have nailed it. I know you don't like compliments, so I'll give you a huge compliment. I think you got this one from jump. You said, I think collectively, society looks at Will Smith, good, bad, or indifferent, and we go, you're not what we thought you were, and you've lied to us. And now we're done with you. Right? Isn't that kind of your scenario?
Now,
You got
I've
an
been
addendum?
wavering a little bit.
I'm done with him completely.
So-
I put him in my John Krasinski file of people that I hate for no reason.
I'm wavering a little bit only because, my sons have been watching.
Don't let your sons make you like Will Smith.
No, well, his Disney Earth.
Oh,
thing.
you stuck with it? I thought you couldn't watch it because every time you hear him, you're like,
Yeah.
I want to slap your face.
Yes, but now, my sons the actual show is produced really well, and they
Just put it on mute.
and they
And
have
you explain all the stuff that's on the screen.
Oh,
but from what I'm in it for my sons learning about nature and
Yeah.
then the animals and stuff, and they seem to be the show is put together, obviously a Disney product. Will Smith's
Yeah.
involved, it's put together very well.
Yeah.
But from watching these episodes, because we've been
Well,
we're
he's
letting our
he's
sons.
just talking. He's doing narration.
No, but he goes in the episode. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, he goes on an adventure.
No, I understand, but
within
it's
the
all
thing.
fake.
It is fake, but the adventure kind of shows what he's learning with it. It's a kids show that adults can watch too. Anyway,
Does he do that stupid laugh where he talks like, oh,
Yeah.
I hate that.
but
when he does
from
that.
watching the past 6 episodes, I started I hate this guy. He softened me up a little bit
No.
where he shows some vulnerability and then he's on these adventures and he shows fear and then
it's
he's
all fake, though.
humanizing.
He's acting.
I know,
He
but
is
he's-
acting. He's a great actor.
He's
He won
humanizing
an
him.
Oscar. No, he won an Oscar. He is tricking you into liking it.
I
He's
know,
a
yeah.
horrible, vile individual.
And
And he was using his acting chops, his Oscar chops.
And I'm also well, you slap someone, who cares? It's like I slap someone's face, not that big of a deal. Wait, Chris Rock, he'll make $1 million off it. $5 million.
More, yeah, I think more.
This is the best thing that
He's
happened to
already
Chris Rock's
making money
career,
from it. Yeah,
baby.
people are showing up at Chris
So,
Rock all the time.
Now I'm just justifying it.
man.
That's how easy it is for humans.
Why are you wearing a Will Smith shirt?
That,
Did you turn the AC down? Because now I'm freezing.
Yeah.
No,
it's-
I turned it
I
up.
was fine before.
I turned it up.
But up means down.
What's the voicemail?
Yeah, it's a Will Smith one.
Howdy, y'all. Old BDM Poopy here. Listening to Dan talking about the Will Smith apology video about how fast the world just said, okay, yeah, never mind. And we all moved on. Well, my stoner question is, has the view of celebrities as a whole, have we finally moved on from Hollywood? In my opinion,
Too slow.
No, come on, Poopy, get it
yeah,
together.
Poopy's a good man. But yeah, that's the crux of his question is that are we done with the megastar? Or we,
No.
And I would say no, because I would look at Johnny Depp. I would look at Tom Cruise. I mean, here are still guys that are still pulling in, putting the butts in the seats.
We've just added more, and we live in a society now where everybody's famous, and our brains can't really differentiate the YouTube star and Johnny Depp, and now
Mr.
like us.
Beast and Will Smith are the same level of popularity.
Well, I'm talking now. This doesn't make sense to us because we're old and we looked at celebrities totally different. We grew up with celebrities totally different. But I'm saying my sons, like teenagers or whatever, I'm guessing that they live in a world where everybody has a voice, everybody's famous. You know what I'm saying? Like we grew up in a world where there was newscasters on TV, and then the celebrities. Those were the only people you saw. Right? You didn't see like
those
random
are the people that entertainment schools had chosen to have a voice, and those are the people that would use their voice to tell us the things we needed to know.
And if you were on TV, then that meant you
were
were
more important than normal. Yeah.
And then we listened to you. We're like, this person's famous, and now it's like everybody's on TV because they're on the internet.
So
and
now we're like, well, you're all important if you're on the TV.
So in my mind, it's diluted everything down where it's not that important.
So
he's
not as important.
I don't think.
Yeah,
to
I think
younger people.
So Poopy, to answer your question, I hate that I'm calling you that. I think there is some validity to what you're saying. I think that Will Smith is certainly, like, if you rewind 30 years or let's go 20 years backwards, right, to Will Smith, megastar.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Now, depending on who you ask, right? So like the older people will know Will Smith more, but the younger generation, they're more into Willow Smith. They don't give a damn about Will Smith.
Yeah, well, most older people are the people that I'm seeing that give Will a pass. Most older, like most...
They grew up with him Fresh Prince.
Well, no, like I'm saying like older. Like people
even
in there, older than me even. Like I'm talking like 50s and 60s and 70s. You see like older people are all like, no, you're fine. It's younger people.
Yeah, they're
that
into
are,
the Sean Connery slap her around a little bit.
Yeah, younger people are like, this guy, who is this guy?
But also how we measured celebrity, I feel, has changed.
It's different,
because it's like we used to measure the biggest celebrities. A-list used to mean you were in blockbuster movies, right?
Right.
And now it's like, how do you measure who's more famous? One of the Paul brothers or Kardashians or Willow
Your level
Smith?
of influence.
And then you can go by just their numbers. But if they all have around, between 5 and 10 million followers or whatever, it's hard. Like, if you have the difference between 5 million followers and 8 million followers, I feel like in young people's perception is the same, right?
Yeah.
There's
I
not
would agree with that.
But it's 3 million people different.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like, and then maybe you get in the upper echelon, and then like, we were talking to Dave Chappelle earlier. I feel like everybody feels like he's the biggest or one of the top 5 comedians in the world, right?
I still
voice-wise.
follow on Kevin Hart too, because he's coming to Orlando. Like it came up in an email, and it was like, "Do you want to purchase tickets to Kevin Hart?" And is he playing the Amway? I'm guessing.
I mean, he could probably do the damn.
So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, I always forget about him because he is his own cruise ship." Chugging along,
and he is, as far as actual,
he's the biggest,
like
right?
A-list,
he's the guy.
because he does so many movies,
right?
Sold out.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh, I actually thought I told Andrea.
It says tickets are sold out now.
Wow.
Check back soon. So they might release more later.
I told Andrea, I said, you know what? Believe it or not, I would actually like to see a Kevin Hart mega show because I've seen a Kevin Hart improv show. I've seen him in a small venue, and he crushed. I'd love to see him in a mega venue and see how it operates.
With the amount of movies he does with The Rock, I mean, every other movie is with him and The Rock, and some of,
You think they're good friends for real, or that's just an act?
I think as a business partner, they got a business relationship.
I don't think they're hanging out on their free time, but I think they're cool with each other.
Yeah, when I see them together, though, I want them to hang out.
But they don't hang out. These guys.
No, I know, but when I see these guys, I'm talking about what I write in my emotional brain, Tom. I want I want The Rock to be like, oh man, I gotta call Kevin for some advice, and they're like buddies.
I think both these guys have a Brady-like mentality when it comes to their career, where all they do, like,
look at their fitness, both of them.
Yeah,
it starts with their fitness, right? Like,
their fitness and their work ethic, and they've scheduled their lives to all they do is work and work out, and
they're probably good friends only because they have so much in common.
Yeah, but it's like there's no time to hang out. There's just you're working out, business meetings,
Yeah.
work. Like
Yeah.
that's how they live their lives. And
Yeah.
that's why they're at this level of producing so much content. I feel like there's tons of more talented people, but don't have that obsession with work. And that's the thing too. Is like I've learned now at my age that a lot of this is they're addicted or obsessed with work.
Yeah.
To get to that level.
Yeah.
And we say work ethic, but it's beyond that. This person's addicted to work.
Yeah.
But if you say it like that, it puts a negative connotation,
Well,
but
it can
that's
be
what
negative.
it is.
Yeah, but it can be negative to other aspects of your life. It just depends on what you value and what you want.
Yeah, same thing with Brady. He's addicted
Yeah.
to football.
100%.
Everything that goes, so his entire life is that.
Let's try this one. Dinner shows.
Hey guys, this is your friend Summer. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm calling in response to you guys talking about something I know very much, I know very, very well. You guys talked about dinner shows on the Friday Free Show just recently, and I wanted to throw out that I have been employed at 3 separate dinner shows in town. Capone's, as you know,
Yes.
Daniel, you came out and saw me at Capone's one time.
It was really good, and the food was surprisingly really
yeah, I've been
good.
to Capone's. It's a good time.
It was like all you could eat Italian, and I was on Mars, and I went through the buffet line, and I raviolied my face off.
Now, you know me.
Yeah. Uncomfortable.
What, I hate it?
Hate it.
Okay. I knew it.
well, you hate fun.
Capone's, Pirates, and the Hoop-Dee-Doo Review.
I've done all of those.
I have too.
Yeah.
As you can probably imagine, experiences varied wildly between the 3 places, all the way from exceptional stage management and care from, a place that you can imagine. The Hoop-Dee-Doo Review was awesome. All the way to, hey, jump off of this beam, slide on this rope. Training, we don't have time for that. You just have to do it. Bet you can guess where that was. Anyway, I would be willing to talk freely about all 3 of those places since I no longer work at them. If you ever want to know.
Yeah, I want to
So
hear about
you know where to find me.
I got to call you about your Pirates non-training and how you walk the plank. I like the Pirates because they always had the girls push them up.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. That was the thing back in the day. If you were a curvier lady, push them up.
You gotta put a
If you're
corset on.
If you're a skinnier lady, you push them up. Everybody back in the day, you pushed them up. Now we don't push nothing anymore. Now they're not.
Now
even,
they're just free.
Yeah, now they're
They
just
freed
free.
the nipple.
And may I say that sometimes when they're free, they're too free. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're
Lock
too
'em
free.
up.
Yeah, sometimes lock her up. Sometimes they're too free and they need a wall. You got to build a wall around them, push them up.
So the dinner show.
I love a good dinner show because here's my point. Sitting and eating dinner with
does it
our
cost?
families, $70 on
Well, it
average.
depends
A
which one
person?
you're going to.
Yeah, I'd say like
Pirates a little cheaper than a
between
Hoop-Dee-Doo.
I'd say between 45 and 75. And what I like about it is that eating dinner with your family is normally boring. What do you got, music on, or do you do TV during dinner, or
No.
do you guys no TV, no music? We do music.
I mean, there may be some music playing.
Yeah, we do music, and we sit there. Sometimes if it's a dance night, if Maisie's just been working her butt off, we'll let her have her iPad, and we'll let her eat because she'll be like, I want to eat alone. And we're like, all right. And she eats alone.
Damn.
Seriously.
I wanna eat alone.
If I'm lying, I'm dying. She wants to eat at the table by herself with her iPad, and she gets to do it because she's danced all night. I'm like, fine, I don't care. You've earned this right. But but it's boring, right? I like some entertainment while I'm eating. It makes me eat slower. It's fun. I like it. It's like it spurs conversation. I like watching people dance and sing while I'm eating my food and drinking my beers. I like a dinner show.
I do like a dinner show.
I would be a great king because every king had at every meal, he'd be like, and then the jesters and then like the naked women would come in. They start dancing while you're eating for every meal. Every meal. I would make an excellent king because I would appreciate the actors and actresses, the jesters, the dancers, the harlequins, the bards that are stroking their lutes. I like a lute stroking bard.
Normally, I would take the opposite, just so that's how the show goes.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get into this.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a dinner show at
Well,
all?
you're a king. You're a natural born king. You're a business king. Kings have entertainments while they're eating.
Me and Crystal used to be very fond of the Aloma Cinema Grill and the Draft
okay.
House, right?
Okay, the Aloma Cinema Grill is known as the Redneck Globe Theater.
And we used to like it because we can go there, eat and drink beer, and also smoke.
All in one chair. All in one chair. All in one chair.
Wow.
You know, it's a different time.
Yeah, and you could even
early
keep your cigarette in your
2000s.
mouth as you walk to the bathroom. You
And-
just got to duck down so you don't interrupt the movie.
And me and Crystal used to go there and then watch a movie. Now, the
Chicken fingers, French fries, a slice of key lime pie, smoke,
a pitcher of beer.
Pitcher of beer.
Pitcher of
Mick Ultra.
No, Shock Top.
Oh, yes,
wow.
fancy. You know how it's fancy?
Put orange in it.
It's fancy because the orange has a mohawk.
Edgy.
If I could strangle the man who made that logo, I hate it. I hate the Shock Top logo. I want to punch that orange every time I see it. I'm like, look at your dumb biker mohawk.
He's got sunglasses.
I hate him. He looks like a Daytona Beach trash biker.
So I do like eating a full meal and smoking while I watch
Yeah, see, you and I,
movies.
this is why.
Let's take Tom to a dinner show.
All right, what dinner? No, then we got to bring his whole family. And
No.
then let's take him to. Is Arabian Nights is closed, right?
Correct. We could do medieval times.
Now,
Okay, I would do medieval times. That's the big dog.
I've never been to that one.
What dinner shows do we haven't done? Do we have any new ones?
Now, if I'm looking at and imagining myself at a dinner show, in my mind, I'm not having any fun.
Well, you got to be selected for. You got to do the King's Feast. You got to root for the Black Knight. You got to do the wedding of the king's daughter. They always do that. They're all like, "Thank you." They do this like when you're all there. They try to like get you to use your imagination. So the king, he'll come out at the beginning and they'll be like, "Hello, it is I, the king, and I'm so glad that all of you are here today to celebrate the wedding of my Princess Jasmine." And then he like presents his daughter, and then you all applaud.
Yeah.
It's awesome, dude.
Now-
We can take it to a drag show dinner show.
No, that's no. He
Okay.
needs to go standard nerd
and-
dad dinner show.
And it's the food is very
It's basic bitch, yeah.
theme parky.
It's cruise ship, yeah.
Yeah,
Cruise ship,
you nailed it. It's very crucial. You know,
they give
you
you
know it's
generic
cruise ship. They have those
ham
tops.
hock.
They have those little round tops that they put on hospital food, and they take that off as they're setting your
Yeah,
plates
it's
out.
fancy.
No.
I don't like that. When they do that, I hate that. When
Serving tray.
They take the little round thing off and they put it down in front of you, and I'm like, this is hospital food.
I saw a meme the other day that said Panera is just fancy hospital food. It made me laugh.
Oh, you're getting into the meme, daddy-o memes.
This
damn
guy,
it.
you know what I love about my
God
business
damn it.
partner? He'll laugh at a good Panera meme.
But anyway, so the entertainment, I do. It is logical. Like if you are watching live entertainment of some sort, like a play,
I
some
love
horses, or medieval times.
Yeah.
Like,
I love it. I like
It's better than nothing. I'll agree with it. It has to be. It has
Yeah.
to be
It's
better
that's
than
why
nothing.
I like Fringe Festival. I got a beer, and then it's live. Like
Yeah,
it can
yeah.
go wrong.
Although I would like it to skew less child, and then actually put in, those
Well,
nights.
pirates used to have an adult show called Winches and Warlocks or Winches and
Yeah.
Pirate or something.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. it
So
was
you start
like-
getting into cursing, and then maybe like some
Yeah, they
teeth
did.
fall out.
implied
Yeah, they
nudity,
did. They
like
cursed,
pasty. You can
they
put the-
cursed, and the girls were all hot, and they pushed them up.
Yeah.
And they did like spicy dialogue. I don't think it's around anymore though. It used to be like a spicier. Summer would probably know. It used to be like a spicier Pirates, but it was adults only. It was 18 and up, and you'd go there, and it was like less of the pirates, whereas the ship and the water and the cannonballs, but more of like you're sitting at a bar, and then they're just like singing and dancing and like an intimate
burlesque.
Treasure Tavern.
treasure tavern. That's what it was.
So it's like they mix in a little burlesque,
Card,
dance,
like close up magic.
Some twerking.
Yeah.
I don't want to see
That-
twerking.
What do you?
Not pirates. I want to come on there. If it's pirates, I want a yo ho. I want a yo ho.
Yeah, but
You're going to get a hoe.
Yeah, but I don't like it. No, I am very, very anti when you put new music in a period piece. I remember that stupid movie that had, who's the guy that died of an OD as Xanax? Heath Ledger. He was in that Knight's Tale movie.
Yeah.
And they used the goom, goom, ksh, goom, goom, ksh. My name was a young. They do "We Will Rock You" by Queen, and I'm like, oh God, I'm out. I can't do it. And then they're doing it like everybody in the stands is like doing it, and they're all dressed like dirty medieval people.
Yeah,
And they were all doing the boom, boom, clap, boom, boom, clap. I'm like, no, how did they know the Queen thing? It wasn't written yet. You can't be doing. You got to do. You got to do the medieval music. Yeah. You can't do. You can't have like AC/DC playing when the Knights come out. That you can't do that.
It's like that new version of Romeo and Juliet. You know what I'm saying?
With the new, it's 40 years old.
Leonardo DiCaprio and
the Claire Danes.
Yeah. And old, what's his name that yells on the internet now? White dude.
That's every white dude on the internet.
Jamie Kennedy.
Rappaport.
Rappaport. Michael Rappaport.
Isn't Jamie Kennedy in that too?
Yeah.
Jamie Kennedy's in that.
Is it Jamie Kennedy?
Yeah.
Is Rappaport? Maybe I got
no. Rappaport plays Remy the Nazi in that one college movie.
Yeah,
He's Remy the Nazi.
Is Jamie Kennedy in the Romeo and Juliet?
I think he is. He plays like a
yes,
crazy.
He was.
Yeah, he plays like I'm the crazy one, and look at my crazy handgun, and I'm crazy.
And John Leguizamo.
Yeah, he's
yes,
in it.
Was,
he's like I'm the crazy Latin one.
And they have guns with crucifix hanging, and they're all gold plated.
Like, hey,
what
look
was
at
that?
that?
I went on a field trip in like a middle school to see that movie.
Oh God, your teacher just wanted to get out of school.
I went on a field trip to see that movie.
Yeah, English teachers. Our English teacher tried to do it too. I think we got voted down by the school board because we're all rednecks.
Yeah,
DeLand. You ain't going to see no goddamn Claire Danes. Claire Danes is in that show on MTV that's got Ricky the gay boy.
I guess it was PG-13.
Ricky was my favorite character from. What was that show called? My So-Called Life. Ricky, the black guy. Remember him? He's like
Never
a gay.
watched it.
He's like a gay black guy. Oh, that show still holds up. He was way before his time. Ricky, the gay black guy, way ahead of his time. That guy. Wonder whatever happened to him. Probably starring in a Pirates dinner theater somewhere in America.
So, which dinner theaters are still operational?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Well, we got Pirates is still going on. Teatro Martini, which is the one that I went to on my birthday. They're bringing that up because it is adults only. But
Teatro Martini.
It's owned by the same people that own Pirates. The show is good.
What's the show about?
It's kind of a variety show. There's they do different. But the food is inedible. That's the one where I came back and I ordered what was supposed to be steak and it was not I don't know what it was. My husband didn't even eat his food. It was not good.
Shades didn't eat?
No.
They're focused more on the show than the dinner.
And it was the thing where we talked about how the waitress also was part of the show. The bartender was also part of the show. Okay. So sometimes you couldn't get a drink because you had to wait for them to get off stage.
You know what we don't
I think they were struggling with staffing issues.
Oh, man, that sucks because I love I will give them all a try. I am pro dinner show.
Oh, a good one. The Edison at Disney Springs does have burlesque shows and stuff.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's too high scale. I needed lower scale.
You want low scale?
No, that one was too good because my wife and I were sitting at
Disney property, the different story.
Before Sam's birthday bash, the Great Gatsby birthday bash, that you came dressed like a juggalo. Sam was before we met her. We were in the Edison, and a robot lady came by. They have like
steampunk.
They have a steampunk robot come by. It was awesome.
I thought it was a great Malenko party.
Wow. What a reference. You are down with the clown if you know the great Malenko. Oh, my God. Next, you're going to ask me how magnets work. I cannot believe you pulled the great Malenko out of your rump, dude. That's impressive. I want to high five you so hard right now.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time.